The Beatles sing for Here's to Veterans. Yahoo!
Here's to Veterans, a toast from this radio station to former servicemen and women, transcribed by the Veterans Administration in cooperation with the American Federation of Musicians, whose members donate their talents to keep you entertained and informed. Right now, the Beatles are back.
Thank you, I'm Paul McCartney of the Beatles, and we hope you like I'll Cry Instead.
I got every reason on earth to be mad. I'll cry instead.
Thanks to the Beatles and especially Paul McCartney. Every now and then I remind veterans who were discharged after 1955 that their GI Bill educational benefits are going to run out soon, on May 31st, 1974 to be exact. Anyone discharged after January 1st, 1955 is covered by the present GI Bill. But there's something else to keep in mind when we talk about this new GI Bill. The training portion of it will be available to you for more than a year after the education part expires. Training includes on-the-job and apprenticeship programs, the Farm Cooperative Training Program, and flight training. These VA training opportunities will last until August 30th, 1975. So, my veteran friends, if you were discharged before June 1st, 1966, after January 1st, 1955, time is running out on your GI education rights. But there's enough time left to use the GI Bill's training programs to build a better life. Drop by your nearest Veterans Administration office and get the particulars. We'll have more on that later, but right now, the Beatles are back.
All right, this is Paul McCartney again, and this is another song from our new album, The Beatles, My Pals, and...
Look at all the lovely people. All the lovely people. Do they all belong?
Thanks, Paul McCartney. If you're a veteran discharged between 1955 and 1966, you still have time to take advantage of GI Bill training programs. School benefits will expire in May 1974, but you have until August 30th, 1975 to use your rights to an approved training program. You might choose flight training. Now, the VA will pay 90% of its cost if certain qualifications are met. A private pilot's license is the first requirement, and the flight training must lead to a definite job like a career in aviation or piloting as a requirement of another job. Also, you must be able to meet the medical requirements established for a commercial pilot's license. Remember, if you were separated from the armed forces during the period January 31st, 1955 to June 1st, 1966, your time to use the GI Bill is growing short. Contact your nearest VA office or service organization representative for further details. And now, back to the Beatles.
This is Paul McCartney of the Beatles, your friendly DJ, and the next record you're going to hear is one of our favourites at the moment, the Beatles, and Hey Jude.
Thanks to the Beatles for that fine tribute to America's veterans. We'd like to add a special salute to the veterans of Vietnam. We're proud of you and happy you're home. You served your country well, and now the VA is ready to serve you. This radio station has contributed broadcast time in the public interest to this program, transcribed by the Veterans Administration in cooperation with the American Federation of Musicians. They all join me in saying, here's to veterans. The golden age of network radio on Here's to Veterans.
Here's to Veterans from Alice Faye. You'll never know just how much I love you. You'll never know just how much I care.
And Phil Harris. Won't you come with me to Alabama? Let's go see my dear old mammy. She's frying eggs and boiling hammy. And that's what I like about the South.
Here's to veterans. A salute from this radio station to former servicemen and women, produced by the Veterans Administration. Performances by top stars in the early days of network radio launched Here's to Veterans on its long public service career. Commenting on this special series of those vintage shows, John Hickman.
Hi, everyone. You know, one of the most popular Sunday evening comedy shows in the 1940s was the Fitch Bandwagon, starring the popular husband-wife combination Phil Harris and Alice Faye. The original series began in 1932 and featured top-name bands of the era, but in the mid-1940s, the show changed formats to a situation comedy. It was sandwiched in between Jack Benny at 7 o'clock and Fred Allen at 8, and along with the Harrises, it featured their daughters, Phyllis and Alice, guitarist Frankie Remley, played by Elliott Lewis, the wisecracking grocery boy Julius Abruzio, played by Walter Tetley, and announcer Bill Foreman, who later went on to become star of The Whistler. One of the frequent visitors to the old Phil Harris-Alice Faye show was Jack Benny. Well, with a flick of the turntable switch, the past becomes the present. It's 1947 again as we join Phil Harris and Alice Faye on this special Here's to Veterans Fitch Bandwagon.
Every so often, in spite of Phil Harris's indifference to the social amenities, Alice manages to lure him out into the world where doors are opened by liveried butlers, not by exuberant persons named Richard. One of these rare occasions was last Thursday when Phil and Alice attended a dinner party in Beverly Hills. We find them now driving home from this social affair.
Didn't the Williamses have a nice dinner party, Phil?
Yeah, it was all right.
Well, what was the matter with you anyway? Emily Williams offered you her arm and you wouldn't take it.
Of course not, kid. I was holding out for a turkey wing.
And I was terribly embarrassed at dinner when they served that pheasant under glass.
What did I do?
What did you do? You're supposed to wait till the butler removes the glass cover, you know?
You are?
Yes. And what was the idea of wrapping your knife in a napkin and cracking it down the center?
I don't know. Who's taking a chance? I ain't going to take no chance. I thought maybe them pheasants laid glass eggs. I was only trying to break the shell.
All right, but after you did you have to hold the bird on your fork and yell, "Look, Ellis, I'm a mother"?
It got laughs, didn't it? It got laughs. I was only trying to get the party rolling.
Say, where did you and Mr. Williams disappear to after supper?
Oh, Williams, he took me outside to see them kennels of his. There's some dog houses he's got out there. Them broken down mutts is living better than we are. You should have seen what they was eating. Grow Pup Thermidor with hollandaise sauce.
Well, Phil, those are valuable dogs. They've won dozens of prizes all over the country.
What are you talking about? We got a dog at home that's got 10 times more sense than them hounds of his.
Oh, you don't mean that old firehouse dog you brought home for the children?
That's who I mean, Lieutenant Donahue.
All right, Phil, he doesn't even know enough to get up. And when he gets that glassy look in his eye, it's the most pathetic picture I've ever seen.
What do you mean? Did you ever get a load of your brother crawling in the kitchen window on Saturday night? With that carton of chopped suey under his arm?
Oh, he doesn't crawl through the kitchen window.
Yeah, you're right. Last week he was so high they had to lower him through the skylight. I'm going to show up at George Williams with them fancy mutts of his.
George Williams?
Sure. I'm going to enter our dog in the Beverly Hills Dog Show this afternoon.
Oh, Phil, that's ridiculous. He's nothing but an old firehouse dog. He wouldn't have a chance.
What do you mean? He looks pretty good since I cleaned him up, don't he?
Well, I'll admit he looks different. I've never seen him stand so straight and erect before.
Sure. I'm no fool. I put starch in the water.
Look, he's trying to walk.
Uh-oh, he fell down.
Oh, Phil, pick him up.
Okay, I'll lean him against the wall.
Oh, this is ridiculous. What?
Look, the lieutenant is a very intelligent dog. When you tell him to play dead, he rolls over on his back with all 4 legs up in the air. Now, you watch this. Play dead, Lieutenant.
Oh, Phil, don't. The last time you did that, he stayed that way for 4 days.
Well, he's got a complex. He thinks he's a dead beetle. Look, kid, I'll see you later.
All right, bye.
Bye.
We'll rejoin Phil and Alice in just a moment after this message from the VA.
Most everybody needs a job, and I'm going to talk to veterans who have just returned from service and want their old job back. You're entitled to your job, provided it was not a temporary job, if you can still do it, and if you apply for it within 90 days of being separated from service. Now, if you're unable to do the job because of a disability you suffered in service, your employer must give you another one you can do that's comparable in pay and importance to your old job. The same is true if your former job no longer exists. Getting your job back is a right you earn by your military service. Uncle Sam guarantees veterans re-employment rights, but it's up to you, the veteran, to apply. Contact the Veterans Administration. They'll show you the way.
And that just about finishes the preliminary entries in Class J here at the Beverly Hills Dog Show. The next class, I believe, is Dalmatian. Yes, I see, I'm correct. They're lining up now at the judge's stand. Oh, my, there's a rather odd-looking dog approaching the stand with a gentleman dressed in a Mickey Mouse sweatshirt. I believe they got... Oh, the dog just fell down. It seems... Oh, dear me, the man just fell down. There appears to be some sort of confusion down at the judge's stand and the entry.
You say your name is Mr. Harris? That's right, Buster. That's right. Absolutely right. And here is Lieutenant Donahue.
I'm sorry. We're only judging live dogs today.
What do you mean? That dog's alive?
Oh, so he is. But he has a decided list to starboard.
Well, he can't help it. The wind's against him.
Yes. And for that, I'm deeply grateful.
Huh? Skip it, Buster.
I notice your dog's nose is rather heavily scarred.
That ain't nothing, Doc. He got that way from eating out of garbage pails.
Indeed. Just a moment. Well, look at the creature's tail. It's standing straight up in the air. Here, I'll bend it down to the correct position, like this.
I guess I put too much starch in it.
Now, I'll release the tail and see what happens. Are you sure this is a Dalmatian?
Well, he has a little Springer in him, too.
May I see this animal's pedigree? I surmise that he has one.
You surmise correctly. Here it is, Doc, right here.
Let's see. His grandsire was Rob Roy out of Highland Lass by Burlingame. That's rather good stock. Now his sire, Chevrolet Coupe out of gas by Mulholland Drive. Sir, this dog is furious.
He is not. I watch him like a hawk.
Take this beast and go.
Now, you wait a minute. You're not going to... Oh, he fell down again. Now, look at him. Look what you did.
Don't just stand there. Screw his head back on and go.
That's his collar.
I don't care what it is. Buzz off.
Buzz off. Stick him, Lieutenant. Stick him.
You're listening to a 1947 Here's to Veterans broadcast of the Fitch Bandwagon. We'll return to the Harris household in just a moment.
Veterans coming home from service are entitled to get their old jobs back. There are certain qualifications, though, that you should know about. First, it must have been a permanent job. Next, you must apply for the job within 90 days after you were discharged. Not only are you entitled to your former job, but you're also entitled to all the pay raises and promotions you would have earned if you had not gone into the service, plus the seniority you would have gained. If the job no longer exists, or if you can't perform it now because of a service-connected disability, your employer must give you a job you can do. You see, Uncle Sam says you can't be penalized just because you took time out to serve your country. Yes, veterans' reemployment rights are important to you. If you want your old job, ask for it. Contact your nearest Veterans Administration office or service organization representative for assistance.
Hey, Alice, Lassie's home. You can roll out the red carpet, baby.
Why, Phil, look at you. Your clothes are all torn and you've got a black eye.
Oh, that's nothing, kid. Nothing. Some hysterical woman hit me in the face with a bony Pekingese.
Phil, what happened to you?
Oh, nothing. Me and the lieutenant got in a little brawl.
You mean you started a fight at the Beverly Hills Dog Show?
Sure, we mixed it up a little. Someone called the cops, and when Lieutenant Donahue heard the sirens, he thought it was a fire.
Fire?
Yeah, you should have seen him. He jumped out of bed, pulled his pants on, and slid down a thin bystander.
Oh, Phil, I know you're exaggerating, but it was a terrible thing to start a fight. Now, what are you going to tell the children?
What do you mean? Me and the lieutenant came home with first prize. Look at this.
Phil, that's a beautiful silver cup. Let me read the inscription. First prize beer drinking contest. Presented by the Eagle Rock Chowder Club and Marching Society. Phil, you got this cup at a pawn shop.
I did not. Frankie loaned it to me.
Frankie?
Sure. His mother won it in 1907.
Oh, Phil, you're impossible.
All right. What I want to know is why do you let me do these things?
Well, I told you not to, but you never listened to me.
Well, believe me, I'm going to listen to you the next time.
You know, I've known you a long time, Phil. And I guess there's only one way to treat you, just like a little boy.
Alice,
Yes, Phil.
can I play my Uncle Don records now?
Phil, Lieutenant Donahue is getting awfully conceited since he won that cup.
Yeah, I know.
Did you see him? He's upstairs lying on the chaise lounge smoking your best cigars.
Yeah, I don't mind that so much, but he's got on my black silk negligee, too.
Phil Harris and Alice Faye, stars of our 1947 Here's to Veterans broadcast. I hope you enjoyed today's show, and I know you'll want to be with us again soon when we dust off another great Here's to Veterans radio show of the past. Until then, this is John Hickman saying so long, and thanks for listening.
A return to the golden age of network radio on Here's to Veterans, produced by the Veterans Administration. This radio station has contributed broadcast time to this program in the public interest, and here's a special salute to the veterans of Vietnam. You served your country well, and now the VA is ready to serve you. Here's to veterans.